Hello, Michael Christie. The marks you see on here are from the moisture meter. So as you see right here, the moisture meter is showing about 10% moisture. Oh, by the way, just a piece of plywood sitting in our shop runs between 10 and 12. So that's pretty much ambient. This is also pretty much ambient. We were reading in the yellow earlier, about a week ago, and actually I can look on the invoices and tell you exactly what day that was. But we were reading in the yellow, but we also found that your plug that is amidships that you would empty your boat with couldn't be opened. So we had to take it out and replace the entire assembly because we could not get the plug to come out of the assembly, out of the through-hole drain. It's called a garber drain. Now down here, we're still reading in the red, but we're just barely into the red. So the other way of testing the integrity of the hull is by sounding. Now I did this before we came back with the moisture tester. So here's a real dry plank. Reads, sounds the same. Just a little bit duller. If we get a really super soft sound, then we probably have a problem, and that problem can be confirmed by the moisture meter. We had a dull thud up there when I sounded originally, but we had a hull full of water, so there was no way it was going to ring. And again, so I'm just giving you an example of what I did earlier, and you see those sound about the same. There's your new drain plug. It's not real pretty, but it doesn't need to be. The fish don't care. What we need to have is make sure it's good and well sealed off. But that your plug inside the fitting inside the brass fitting was steel, and it had rusted and it could not be removed. So we removed the entire garbered plug, and then we put this extra flange on that's made out of aluminum, and through bolted the whole thing together in the hull and sealed it with 3M5200. So anyway, that's the sounding and the moisture meter methods for checking out your hull. And while we have some areas that maybe were a little wet when we tested, let's see if I can roll back up here and grab the moisture meter again. Where is it? There it is. So you see if I can do this two-handed here. I got the wrong hand on the camera and the wrong hand on the moisture meter. Here we go. Oh, that's me. I've got plenty of moisture. So we're reading pretty wet right down here, but this is the bottom of the boat. And the key is going to be not to have water in the bottom of the boat this winter. This one has red, so it was a wet spot earlier. We had a lot of water in here. Let's see here. This is the bottom of the boat. This is where it's going to hold the water on the other side of this plank. So while we don't have any disasters, based on, whoops, even the concrete has a high moisture. we don't have a dull thud. If we had a dull thud as opposed to this sound, then we would have an issue. And I've checked the entire bottom. We are high in moisture in the bottom, but we don't have the dull thud, which would indicate that we have serious rot. So you've got a number of years left on your hull. I can't really predict. It's probably a minimum of 5, a maximum of 10, something like that. And if we did have to do any wood replacement, obviously the stuff that's out here and not subject to being having water in the hull, obviously that's good. It might be a matter of having to change a garboard plank or something like that 5 or 10 years from now. So I think your question about do you want to go with a different or replace the bottom, it's a valid question, but I think we're a long ways off from that. So anyhow, that's the latest and on this. And I also have, we had to do a number of other things. We had to replace your batteries. They were toast. So we put new batteries in. I've got a couple other items that we did and I'll send you a bill for all this stuff shortly, and send you the invoices to justify the payments. All right, thank you very much.